Hello, everybody. My name is Jammin Joey, and well, I'm not at my normal setup, but I have this very beautiful view behind me, and I figured why not capitalize on this? I'm currently in LA, so we'll have to do the workshop from here. So, welcome on in, everybody. This workshop is going to be about logo design and editing. This is going to be kind of an introduction to build yourself and your identity within the esports and just video game world. So we're going to start off with logo and your kind of logo design. And there's three main components that you want to follow while you're doing your logo design. And that is going to be appropriate, distinctive, and simple. These are going to be your three components that you should be always thinking about when you're creating your logo. And we're going to kind of break these down a little bit. So, the first one, appropriate. Now, this is kind of your feeling, this is like the general nature of what we're going to find here at this spot. So, for the example, sports, we're going to see these really bold, dynamic, big letters, all caps, that's kind of that sports feel. Where if we were to do something in fashion, we would find these nice, thin, curvy lines. They're very unique, and so this is just kind of the feeling for the example of my logo. I'm a drummer. I'm also a genuinely pretty happy guy, and you will find that my logo is me with a big smile playing the drums. So really fits what you'll find when you come hang out with me. Two, distinctive. You want it to be super memorable, something that you can look at maybe once or twice and then just describe it. Okay, so for the example of this, we all know if we're in the car and we're driving and we all see that big yellow M, we know it's McDonald's. Okay, the logo is not hard to remember no matter where we go. We see it once, it's pretty much engraved in your head. You know what it is. Now, number three, simple. Now, this is where we want it to be able to work on a business card, but we want it to be able to work on a giant sign. It should be so simple we can read it no matter its color, its design, anything. If you've taken the example of Target, it doesn't matter how big or small that Target is. We all know that it's the store Target. So it's so simple. It just works everywhere. So, with all this, now I'm going to tell you a little story about Chase Bank. Okay, most of you may know Chase Bank, and if you don't know any of this, go ahead, look this up. But the original Chase Bank logo was a bit much. It had the United States in there, along with a picture of the world and writing all over it. It was too much. Now, the current one is blue, and it makes an octagon. And it's pretty simple. And this has been the Chase Bank logo now for over 61 years. And the original owner of Chase Bank, John McCoy, he hated it. He didn't understand the logo. He wanted like a picture of a building instead of the logo. But the logo designers insisted that this could be it. And after a lot of wearing him down, eventually he allowed it. And 6 months after this new logo change, John was seen wearing a tie with the logo, cufflinks with the logo, and even a hat with the logo. And he realized that soon that logo was the face of the company, and he wanted to ride that ownership along with it. Now, this is kind of hard, but this has taught us that we don't need to like a logo right away. And, well, this is a little challenging because everyone wants to be liked instantaneously. This is through social media. This is just our way of communication in today's era, where trademarkers and logo designers kind of take the opposite and go for a more long-term view. So what this makes us realize is logos gain meaning over a long period of time. And first impressions can be a little misleading. So how do we know what works today and what is going to work well in the future? What makes a good logo? We already talked about it. Appropriate, distinctive, and simple. So remember, there is a huge beauty in simplicity. And although your logo is your face, don't be afraid to kind of go out of the box. This doesn't mean you need to give away what you do at face value, but it does need to match the feeling, be appropriate. So when we look at Apple's logo, for the example, we don't see anything about how they sell phones, computers, watches, or even a streaming service. But when this is where being creative really comes in hand. When Steve Jobs originally chose the apple, he said he was inspired by the apple being the fruit of creation. And well, Apple always pushing their technology to the next level with creation, well, this is a pretty good fit for them. Additionally, you can create all different types of feelings with color. And different colors can mean a lot of different things. For example, red can mean passionate, but it also can mean angry. Green can be nature, but it also can be greed. So there's really a lot of creativity that you can go when it comes to building your logo and finding something that feels appropriate. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, but you can find a feeling of you in your logo. So again, appropriate. Make sure it fits the feeling. Distinctive, memorable. You're not going to forget it. You're not going to forget it. You're going to see it and you're just going to remember it. And last but not least, simple. Even if you may not like it right away, keep it simple. Now, this is the general rules that I like to follow when creating a logo. And these are the rules that we've seen stand literally the test of time, coming up almost to 100 years. So this formula works, and we want to use this with creating our logos. Nothing super crazy. Don't go all out. Now, when it comes to video editing, there is a lot to cover here, and we don't have an entire thing written out for you, but there's general rules that I want you to follow. Now, there are a lot of different there's a handful of different options that you can use while video editing. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need a super high-end video editing software to put things on your social platform. There's a lot of free apps out there, and most big apps have their own editor built inside it. YouTube and TikTok, for the example, they have their own editors built inside it. Now, each editor is slightly different, but as you learn one, you'll find that they're all the same, just different. Just each one will go a little bit more in depth. So just pick one, learn it, and you'll realize that it translates over to all of them. Now, with all of this said, and with the fact that we're, yes, starting our editing process and maybe just kind of dipping our toes in, just because we have a simple or basic editing studio does not mean it's bad. Sometimes it can be even better. Okay, and let me explain why. So as a video editor myself, I have spent up to 3 months editing one project almost every single day. All right. Now, this project was a short film with a heavy amount of special effects. So I needed an advanced editing studio. But when I quickly want to share a handful of my top gaming clips synced up with some music with slight special effects or slight effects, I can do this in the TikTok editor in about 30 minutes versus doing it on my computer. So why would I choose this free TikTok editor when I'm also paying for a high-end editing studio? Well, I'll tell you why. Convenience. Convenience is the main thing here. If I can tell the same exact story and one path is way more streamlined than easier than the other path, well, it's obvious why we should take the streamlined path. Now, I can quickly download all of my clips to my phone, put them in the TikTok or YouTube editor, select a song that I'm feeling or even a top song in the moment, throw them all together, and boom, upload my clips. Now, this wouldn't take me too much longer if I decided to do this on the computer. But with my phone, I'm able to work on it on any point. The convenience of this is just the best. So I'm able to access all the hit songs with no copyright issues. I'm able to grab them, use them, link them to my video. Boom, I can grab them immediately. And on top of that, I technically don't even need to get out of bed to do this. Now, I definitely recommend that you should be getting out of bed and go for a hike. But once you get to the top of that hill, you can finish your edit. Yet again, one of the streamlined factors. But it's simple. today, in this day, to take these clips and put them together with music. And the more fun that you have with it, the more you're going to learn and perhaps then eventually jump into that more advanced editing studio. But even with the most advanced editors, I will tell you, we all had to start simple and be creative with what we had. So at the end of this, for your logo, be creative, have fun with it. It's yours. You should find your feeling and you should fit with it. You should just go with it and feel it out. And on top of that, while you are editing your short clips and you're putting all of this stuff together, just pick an editor, just start putting in clips and put sound to it. The more you're going to play around with it, the more you're going to learn how to navigate it. And on additionally to that, how to jump into any other editing studio, how to jump into more advanced editing studios later, where you can start getting more tedious with your special effects. But convenience is key. I don't carry around a giant, big 60, what is it, a 60D or 70D Canon camera anymore. I used to, but now I can film all of my events simply with my phone. So convenience is really key here. You don't need a super advanced logo to try and stand out. Sometimes simplicity, actually I take that back. Simplicity is 99% of the time the answer. You don't need this big advanced logo with a bunch of stuff going. And same for video editing. You don't need this super advanced complex video editor. You can just use what is readily available to you, and everything is so streamlined nowadays. It is so simple. So at the end of all of this, get creative, have fun, think outside of the box, but keep it simple. Thank you, everybody. If we have any questions, feel free. Definitely drop a comment, drop a like. Super happy for everyone who came here, and I hope everyone has an awesome rest of their day. Thank you so much. Bye.